Hello guys, selamat pagi. Welcome to Isolate Show. Dan hari ini adalah hari special karena episode terakhir untuk season 3. And I'm so thankful ada tamu yang luar biasa special, yaitu adalah Fen dari yang punya Axio. Dia seorang photographer, seorang artist, seorang entrepreneur, pokoknya multi-talented woman. So dia akan curhat dan ngobrol dengan kita secara terbuka. So we are so happy to have you here. Let's wait until kita bisa invite Fen ke acara kita. By the way, kita hadir live di studio Axio. So if you guys want to do some photography sessions, guys, this is the place. Check it out. It's so beautiful. This place is truly amazing, guys. Temannya until Fen join kita di IG live kita. Okay, wait, sorry guys, tunggu sebentar ya. Kalau orangnya di sini orangnya, jadi mau tunggu sebentar aja dong. Okay, hi Fen, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Isolate Show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Ya, so tadi gue bilang bahwa lu adalah benar multi-talented. Ada 3 titel nih yang banyak orang tahu tentang lu. Entrepreneur, karena ini kan bisnis lu sendiri. Artis, karena lu juga bisa painting and do like all this art stuff yang gue juga gak tahu how to describe. Dan of course, photographer. Dari 3 ini, mana sih yang paling kena ke jati diri lu?
Tough question. Karena dari aku kecil, aku diajarin aku nggak bisa jadi starving artist. So there is always a balance between creating and creating a demand.
And creating money?
Yes. Show me the money.
Okay.
No, actually, yeah, it's a very tough question. It's like, I think it's all in a circle. Tiga-tiganya my passion actually.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of kan banyak banget orang photographer di Indonesia, di Jakarta ya kan. Tetapi yang punya successful photography company itu sebetulnya nggak gampang dan nggak banyak juga ya kan. So you managed to do that. So I guess you have a good head on your shoulder dan juga of course the good eyes ya to capture those moments, right? Okay, tapi Fen, kita harus be open nih ya bahwa kalau orang Google nama kamu ada another title there. Itu adalah divorcee, seseorang yang pernah cerai. Does it bother you?
It used to bother me a lot karena I'm very perfectionist. Nggak cuma di kerjaan tapi di kehidupan juga. I have this ideal marriage kayak dari kecil, you know, like I'm the type yang kayak in love with love story, you know, like very hopeless romantic. And I watched my parents and grandparents growing old together, and of course they went through shit too.
It's okay.
But kayak mereka tuh they stick together. So it was tough. It was okay. If I can wrap up, maybe it's a humbling experience too. It is kind of it is hard.
Okay. It is hard. Kamu tadi bilang bahwa kamu adalah seorang perfectionist. Jadi ketika your marriage gagal itu, kamu merasa bahwa kamu juga ada sesuatu yang broken, sesuatu yang yang nggak perfect anymore. So for you, how does it impact you mentally?
Well, actually, we had problem for 2 years before finally it ended. I seek help because I know I cannot handle it by myself. Actually, the reason I want say I'm actually not an open person, but I agreed to be here with you because I want people who, especially kayak cewek-cewek yang lagi going through this, know that, you know, everything will come to pass. Everything will be okay. You know, when we went through it, we feel like gila, gue mati aja gitu. Sampai seriously like that. Kayak there was one time, I think it's okay for me to share. There was one time I cut myself, you know, physically, because I want to see how wound get healed physically like, oh iya ya, ternyata bisa sembuh ya. And I think the same thing with my heart too. But and then at that time that was the lowest point of my life, and I like, Tuhan, kayaknya gue nggak bisa kayak gini terus. I think I need help, and I think it's okay, to be hopeless and to be vulnerable, because we are designed bukan hidup sendiri. Kayak kita perlu support system. So I went to psychiatrist. I have my leaders in church yang bantuin aku juga, strengthened me, that kayak, yeah, everything will be okay. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. That helps a lot. Yeah, I think I just want to say that kayak don't be afraid to fail, like don't be kayak, there is this one apa sih aliran di Jepang, aku lupa namanya, yang when there is a pottery that's broken, malah mereka harganya sangat mahal karena mereka akhirnya lapisin dengan emas. I don't remember what it's called, cuman nanti you guys can Google it. So I think you being vulnerable and broken itu jadi it's unique to you. It's how you handle it after you are being broken. But after going through this a year and plus gitu, aku ngerasa kayak ternyata hati itu nggak bisa broken loh, Grace. Hati itu cuma bisa expand. But when it expand, you feel the pain, but it expand become bigger, like kayak lebih ngertiin orang,
empati.
Yes, empati, lebih ngertiin orang kalau lagi perasaannya sakit, atau lebih you feel people, karena kan that's why we live, to love and be loved.
Oke. Kamu merasa apakah Tuhan ya mengizinkan terjadi hal ini untuk teach you a lesson, untuk give you a lesson behind all of this?
Ya, aku percaya semuanya yang terjadi itu Tuhan campur tangan. Tapi I also believe it's a decision. But going through this, I would say banyak banget karakter-karakter yang aku merasa Tuhan rubah dalam aku, dan when I look back, I'm grateful.
Oke. Apa sih satu hal yang surprising yang kamu baru found out dari journey ini tentang diri kamu sendiri? Yang you never knew, wow, I had that or I was like that.
Apparently I am brave.
Explain, please.
Karena aku tuh orangnya mungkin growing up anak Bandung juga, terus udah itu paling dimanja lagi sama my parents segala gitu. Aku ngerasa aku tuh timid banget, dan aku tuh nggak bisa ini nggak bisa itu, karena selalu ya lumayan dimanja sih, like everything kayak my life gitu. Terus ternyata I'm strong, I am brave, yang kayak it's like a decision juga sih, nggak automatically kayak gitu. Apa ya? Itu sih, being brave is a verb, kayak you just have to be brave gitu. Dan being brave tuh asik, kayak nggak takut kayak when you tadi yang aku bilang tentang building up a company, that we have to be acting like an underdog all the time, karena kayak nggak takut gagal, karena kita tuh punya this bravery gitu. Be brave.
Oke. Van tadi bilang bahwa lu merasa bahwa hati lu di-expand to be empathic, to love other people as well. Tapi bagaimana dengan kepahitan? Soal menurut saya observasi dengan orang-orang yang terjadi kasus seperti ada ini, mereka bisa kebalikannya, bukannya love tapi malah jadi source bitter about people, bitter about love, bitter about the whole life, even bitter toward God. So what makes you not being bitter about it? I mean, or are you bitter still?
To be honest, it's a roller coaster. It's one day at a time. sometimes the feeling like ada things aja yang trigger gue untuk kayak gitu kan. Tapi I learn how, mungkin ini selama ini aku belajar untuk pause, untuk kayak kenapa sih? Kayak why do I feel this way? Is it my pride? Is it kayak it's a decision sih, Grace. Maksudnya kayak I've been married for so many, like more than a decade, dan ini it happens like baru recently kan. Jadi ya I think it takes time. Kayak luka mungkin sekarang udah masih kelihatan, tapi dipegang udah nggak sakit gitu. Tapi kadang-kadang kayak it's still linu kalau kena.
Oke. Jadi artinya I would not say bahwa kamu tuh sudah fully healed. You're getting there.
Getting there, yes.
Oke, jadi artinya ada orang itu ada satu moment stage yang dimana they look back in those memories. That's a fact, tapi nggak ada association with the heart or emotions anymore. But you're not there yet.
Kata aku sih ya, nggak akan pernah bisa
gitu.
lepas sih dari that feeling. I think
so?
It will be a decision aja. Maksudnya bukan sakit lagi loh, Grace. Kayak pastilah kayak misalnya ada perasaan tik gitu. Tapi ya decision untuk kayak enggak, I don't want to feel this way. Terus kayak gitu, it doesn't hurt you anymore, but you know that memory kayak apa ya? What is the good
nostalgia
example?
gitu.
Ya kayak gitulah. Good or bad kan pasti nostalgianya.
Oke. Tadi Van bilang bahwa you hurt yourself, ya kan? And you sought help, you sought a counselor, psychiatrist, therapist, those things. Kita tahu bahwa terutama di Asia loh ya, kebudayaan untuk nyari help kayak begitu itu masih sangat tabu banget. Wah, lu orang gila, lu nggak waras ya kalau ke nyari orang-orang bantu mental health. Mental health is something that, to be honest, I'm quite aware that is still very undervalued in Indonesia begitu loh. Jadi advice kamu apa sih kepada mereka-mereka yang lagi going through whatever mental health that they're going through, and bagaimana sih buat kamu sendiri pas itu break that stigma, that taboo gitu loh, untuk benar-benar nyari help.
Oke. Jangan takut sih cari help, karena yang tadi aku bilang orang tuh gak diciptakan untuk hidup sendiri. Tapi setiap orang pasti beda-beda. Ada yang perlu profesional untuk seek help, ada yang teman dekat, ada yang pasturnya, ada orang tua. Cuman waktu itu mungkin aku pilih untuk ke profesional karena nggak bias. Jadi ya it just makes sense to me kayak what they say. Karena psychiatrist itu nggak pernah ngasih misalnya ini this is what you have to do. Nggak. Dia kasih beberapa skenario. Oh ini kalau kamu gini, ini kalau kamu gini, ini kamu gini. Oh jadi aku mikir sendiri terus itu it helps me a lot.
Oke, jadi artinya don't think that you are alone. Actually there's people who can help you out there.
Yes.
Jangan takut, be brave ya guys ya untuk go seek that help ya kan. During this whole journey, especially pandemic loh pas terjadi ya kan, dimana terutama orang lagi isolasi, karantina, and then benar-benar kamu jadi sendirian pas itu kan. Like, was it double the pain?
It is actually. Kalau dulu mungkin kalau gue lagi stres gitu, I just buy ticket travel, you know. But that somehow Tuhan ngajarin aku untuk depending on Him alone. Aku ngerasa kayak lagi inkubator, you know. Di inkubator di mana ya, I'm not well like gitu. Terus tapi di sana aku ngerasa banget kayak God's protection. I see the other side of Him yang aku nggak pernah tahu, which is He is a romantic God, you know. Lama ini aku kenal Tuhan tuh kayak as a father.
Yes.
But He's also romantic. He's kayak sampai super romantic loh, sampai dia bilang air mata kita aja ditaruh di botol. How romantic it is gitu ya. Ya jadi that's how I survive yang pandemic, and I have good friends. Itu penting banget, good friends yang you can rely on. Talking about friends nih ya. Ada nggak sih gara-gara kamu cerai ini, temen yang kamu pikir dulu deket ataunya jauhin kamu atau tinggalin kamu? Surprisingly gitu. Ada nggak? I think enggak sih. Jauhin sih tapi mungkin banyak yang they don't know what to say, they don't know what to do.
Okay, but that's fine. That's fine. Tapi maksudnya bukan yang like kayak nyari sisi, kayak misalnya I'm not gonna be on your side, I'm gonna be on your ex-husband side, kayak begitu. Ada nggak sih terjadi kayak begitu?
Ya lucunya karena kita udah lumayan marriage panjang, jadi kayak teman-teman kita kan sama.
Makanya.
Kan, ya. Gak tahu ya, lucunya akhir-akhir ini aku banyak teman baru malah, which is tapi teman-teman lama juga okay,
because there's a question mark if you say you have new friends, then there's a question mark, right? What happened to your old friends?
I think they're very supportive, and then kayak I'm telling this to my son, kayak if you lagi spend time sama Daddy, jangan ngerasa you're on his side. If you are spending time with me, jangan ngerasa kayak we both love you. I want you to feel that kayak ya emang this is sucks, divorce sucks. Cuman kayak nggak sampai ini merasa kamu less loved gitu.
Okay, let's talk about that. Sebagai a single mom, apa sih yang paling susah bagi single mom ini?
Mungkin karena waktu when we went through this tuh, my son lagi teenager year, lagi cari jati diri, pandemic happen, dia nggak mau, dia anak satu-satunya, jadi kayak dia mau share ke siapa gitu. Itu tough sih, especially sekarang dengan social media dan yang kayak ada aja yang kirim-kirim foto atau yang kayak ya, being teenager juga kadang-kadang kan mereka ngomong nggak disensor atau apa gitu. Mungkin ya ada beberapa yang ya I keep telling him kayak kayak apa ya, ya pokoknya I want him to know he is loved.
He is loved. That is your aspiration for him.
Yes.
To know that, to make him realize that he is loved no matter what's happening.
Yeah.
Kamu ada fear nggak? What happened to you keripit ke dia nanti?
Takut. Karena kayak orang-orang selalu bilang kayak ya ada aja yang bilang kayak jangan ini keluarga broken home. Jadi kayak
benar.
Pasti takutnya efek ke anaknya the way they view marriage and stuff. But this is what I pray, kayak I don't support divorce. Although now I'm not saying that I'm grateful, but I'm okay gitu. I'm okay, kan shit happen juga gitu. This is not what I imagine juga. Cuman kayak ya pokoknya sih most important thing kayaknya for him to be happy sih. Whatever. No matter gitu.
Are you happy?
I am.
You're happy?
Most of the time. And don't you think happiness is a decision?
Absolutely. And it actually can bisa influence bagi banyak faktor di luar juga kadang-kadang, bukan cuma internal saja menurut saya.
That's what I learned also during this whatever pandemic and yang my divorce gitu. Kayak beneran yang this famous quote saying 90% is what we do, 10% is what happened to you. Because that 10% we cannot control.
Benar.
90% you can control.
Okay. Kalau menurut saya gini loh, happiness itu short term actually. Menurut saya penting itu actually find joy. Joy is long lasting.
Right.
Joy is contentment within. Kalau happiness itu benar-benar faktor luar. Misalnya contohnya kayak ada happy birthday party, happy kan? Setelah pesta selesai udah happiness udah hilang. Tapi kalau joy, it's like you looking at your son, it's joy, not happiness.
Right.
That's my thought. Do you believe in second chances?
In love?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
So bisa nggak sih lu nanti imagine satu hari lu find another love? Atau lu udah bener, no, my time is just gonna be with my son?
I don't know.
Are you,
too early to say.
Yeah, it is early. But maksudnya gini lah. Ada orang at this point yang where you are right now, benar-benar sudah swear off man. Like, no, never ever, because you don't want to go through that gitu. That's fear. Pasti ada trauma dong, ya kan?
Yeah.
For yourself at this moment in time loh ya. Where are you leaning toward?
I still believe in love. Yeah.
Despite what happened.
Yeah. Yes.
No fear, no trauma.
Of course ada fear. Trauma of course ada. Dan kayak I want to make sure I'm healed dulu 100%.
Of course.
Sampai gue nggak bring this to next relationship karena kasihan kan.
Pasti. For you and for your family of course kan.
Yeah.
But you're not bitter about
Um,
about relationship in general.
no.
You're a true believer of love.
Right. It's all about
Talk to us about that. You know, even this place so dreamy. It's amazing. The studio. Talk about it. Talk about your work right now. Like apa sih kamu sibuknya? Soalnya I know you're so busy. Tapi what do you do? Like what is a normal day for fun?
Okay. Aku lagi baru selesai ini, nanti we'll take you around. Maybe I don't know if we have time. This is our new studio. Untuk antisipasi ya. Dulu kan Asyo tuh selalu pre-wedding overseas.
Okay.
Dan kayak sekarang kan susah banget, harus di karantina lah 10 hari, 12 hari, terus peraturannya berubah-berubah terus. Jadi aku rasa kita bisa create beautiful moment juga di studio.
Indonesia,
you know.
I see.
Ini lagi sibuk ini, nanti mungkin next year awal Februari baru launching beneran to public.
Oh, ini belum dibuka untuk publik?
Paling kita punya klien-klien yang udah
Oh,
ini aja.
Oke.
Sibuk ini sih, maybe for those yang ngalamin apa yang aku alamin, practical, hopefully it's useful for people, is get busy.
That's what you do?
Yes, get busy. Tapi get busy-nya jangan asal get busy doang. Jadi kayak itu banyak, this pandemic jadi kayak, you know, like,
be produktif mungkin
prioritasnya jadi lumayan shifted, don't you think? Terus kayak a lot of things yang kayak you want to learn, sekarang beraniin diri untuk kayak, oh iya ya, gue pengen belajar ini, pengen belajar itu, karena di sana tuh yang buat you said about joy, learning a new things juga, creating things,
yes.
joy.
Okay. Jadi sekarang lu sibuk banget dengan memprepare Axio ini untuk ke tahun depan di launch ya kan? Well, this is already December ya kan? Jadi one of the ways for you to cope adalah dengan membuat lu busy dengan kerjaan lu. Benar?
Yes.
And that's your advice for people in general yang lagi going through what you're going through.
Yes. Maybe look back and be grateful and look forward, hopeful. And then one thing that we sometimes forget is we have to look around and be helpful.
Okay.
I think that's how we can cope with today, you know, sadness.
Okay. All right. One last question, Fen. How do you forgive?
How do I forgive? I think gini, siapa aku? You know, Tuhan aja forgive. But aku juga sendiri banyak ngelakuin kesalahan kok, gitu. You know, I'm not perfect either. So, kayak you have to let go your right to be angry, to be bitter, karena first of all, sebenarnya you don't have the right to, you know, kayak just let go aja gitu. Let go those feeling. I know it's easier than said, but you know, kayak as simple as this. Misalnya tadi aku bilang masih roller coaster, ada things yang triggers me, tapi tiap kali I want to snap, Tuhan tolong, wow. Kayak help me gitu, kayak gue nggak bisa, tapi kan Tuhan is love, you know, kayak I cannot but you can gitu, help me.
Okay.
Then he helps.
So you have forgiven him?
It's a decision every day. Yeah, but again, as I said, I tell you juga kayak I did a lot of mistake juga kok. Maksudnya
okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the answer is yes. I would say more yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. One more question. Sorry, Fen. Kamu melihat diri kamu in this 5 years. Kamu tadi sih bilang ada detail yang sebagai terkenal nih ya, isu divorce kamu dan segala macam. Apa sih yang kamu pengen ciptakan? Maksudnya, what in 5 years ini, what do you want people to know you of gitu loh? Especially gitu.
Maminya Excel yang keren.
Oh.
Apa ya?
Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet. That is beautiful. So the most important thing is being a mother.
Iya sih, one day you should interview him. He is amazing boy. He has this empathy yang bikin aku ngerasa there is no regret, you know, karena ada dia. Ya, dia yang bikin saya dia yang bikin my life worthwhile banget. Ya.
I'm happy.
Jadi nangis
Yeah,
sih.
me too. I'm happy you have someone that loves you and you love him back. God bless you, yeah. And guys, wow, that last question really hit us. But thank you so much ya teman-teman untuk nonton hari ini. And special thanks to Fen here today for being so vulnerable and open. Tapi guys, remember ya, if you are in situation where you need help, jangan rasa takut ya. Just go out there and get help. That's what you really need ya. Jangan merasa dirinya sendiri without anybody helping you. So again, thank you so much, Fen. Yeah, truly, truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you, and God bless you. My prayers with you and your family. Yeah. And so, guys, I'll see you next year in season 4 of Isolate Show. Bye, guys.